Hello, everybody. I have got another free guitar lesson for y'all. Hopefully, you guys watch, or I really recommend watching my chord boxes video, explanation video, soon after, right before watching this reading tabs video, because they're both really similar ideas, just presented in a little different ways, but they use a lot of the same concept. So, in my previous video, I talked about chord boxes. So chord boxes are something that both new and experienced guitar players use to play a chord that they don't know or haven't come across before. Now, tabs serve a really similar purpose, but they're more so meant to help you play along with a song, as opposed to just telling you a chord. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Tabs, a lot of people will mistake them and think that they look like music notation. At first glance they do, but it's very different. This is just for the guitar or the bass. So you won't really find a need, as a guitar player, you won't find a whole lot of need to be able to read guitar or music notation, but you will likely come across a point where you need to be able to read tabs or read chord boxes. So let's orientate ourselves and figure out, how this tab represents the guitar. So here we have 6 strings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I've labeled them over here. This right here is the thinnest E string. So this is E, B, G, D, A, and E, with the thickest E string right here. So each of these lines represents a guitar string. Then the next step is to figure out, how to orientate ourselves. How does this represent the guitar exactly? So we can think of it as a nut. I have this little business card to help y'all out. We can think of as the nut being up here, and then the bridge being down here. So with that in mind, what these guitar tabs tell us is how to play, whether it be a chord or a single line melody, whenever playing with a song. So here, what the numbers mean is they mean which fret to put your finger on. So in this case, this 2 means that we put our finger on the 2nd fret of the thinnest E string. In this case of the O, it means that we play that string, we strum that string, but we don't put our finger on it and we don't try to mute it. We want to let that sound ring out. But in this case, on these next 2 strings, it skips putting anything on there, so we can take that as an implied mute. So I put these little X's here on the side to let us know that these strings we mute. And then up here we have another open string, an open E string to play. So whenever we see these numbers stacked like this, that should let you know that it's a chord. You're playing all these notes simultaneously. That's why they're stacked like this. But once we get to these, like these 3, these are played individually and one after the other, but definitely not simultaneously. Then when you get back to this, it's another chord that you strum, single note, chord, single note, chord, 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 single note, and single note. And that'll be a really good way for you to see it. Whenever you see these numbers stacked, it means you're playing all those things simultaneously, so it's a chord. When you see them separated like this, it means it's a single line. Now that I've explained that to you, I want to show you guys a better example than what this one shows. I've got this book here that I use to learn my Spanish finger picking. And this has it has chord boxes, it has music notation, and it has guitar tabs. So you can kind of see the differences, but you don't necessarily need to be able to read the music notation in order to play the stuff in this book. So up here again we have a chord box. We can see how this is telling us to play these 2 open strings and put a finger down on the 2nd fret of the D string. Then down here we can see the tab, TAB, letting us know that to start off with, we're going to play on the 2nd fret. We're going to put our finger down on the 2nd fret of the D string and then play an open B and an open E, then go back to playing a finger down on the 2nd fret of the D string, then open B and then open E again, and so on. So that's how you'll start to read these. Because these are Spanish finger picking, there aren't really any chords played. So unfortunately I don't have an example right here in front of me to show y'all what a chord will look like. But again, remember that when they're stacked, that means a chord. It means you're playing all of those together. And in a little bit, I'll show you guys what playing these tabs look like on a guitar instead of just on paper. Alrighty, guys and gals, I've got my guitar now. So now I can teach you how to read tabs and how to apply that on an actual guitar instead of just paper. So what I have here for y'all, what we're gonna go over is a song I really like called Is This It by The Strokes. It's pretty short, but it's pretty simple and it sounds nice. And it'll give me a chance to show you guys some single note lines and how they look on tabs, and how chords look on tabs. So now, if you guys remember from my previous video, that when you're reading tabs, each of the lines represents one of the 6 strings. And whenever you see a number, it's telling you where to put your finger, which fret to put your finger down on that string. So let's get started. So in this case, it starts off with on the G and the B string, these right here, and you play this 10 on G, 10 on B, and then you'll switch to 9 on G, but the B string will still stay the same on 10. And then the G string will go down to 7, but the 10 will still be played on the B string. So it'll be 10, 10, 10, 10, 9, 10, 7, 10, 10, 10, 9, 10, 7, 10. And then it shifts a little bit. So now on the B string, you're playing on the 11th fret, and on the G string, you're still playing the 10th fret. So it'll be 10, 11, 9, 11, 7, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 9, 11, 7, 11. And that's how the intro will sound. And then, if you look further on that sheet, we can see that for the chorus, you're playing an F chord up here, which will look like this, and then a C power chord, which will look and sound like this. So to make the F chord up here, based on these tabs, we're going to put a finger here on the 1st fret of the E string, another finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, another finger on the 3rd fret of the D string, and then finally another finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. So this is what the F chord will look and sound like. And as the tabs are showing us, we just need to play the thickest 4 strings. So these you can mute or you can just avoid playing. And then for the 2nd chord, it's a C power chord, in which you put one finger down on the 3rd fret of the D string, another finger down on the 5th fret of the D string, and then finally a 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the G string. And it'll sound like that. And so that chorus, the two chorus chords will sound like this. Alrighty, I hope that was helpful for you. I hope this will help get you guys started on learning how to read tabs and chord boxes and how to use them to learn songs. Thanks for watching. I'll have another video up for you guys soon. Thanks.